Hi everyone, I wanted to do a short video about my job. So one of the questions I've been asked was how did I get into autonomous technologies? So first of all, my background is in electrical and electronics engineering. I studied in Scotland for 4 years and then moved on. After graduation, I took on a job at Cummins in Kent, where I was a lab operations engineer and learned a lot within a short period of time. Oversaw some projects, led some activities, and really enjoyed the experience with Cummins. Cummins is a large company who manufactures diesel generators, and from that experience, I was able to that was my first chapter within the automotive industry. So coming from Scotland, I guess the normal thing would be to go into the oil and gas industry, being from Aberdeen. And I guess a lot of my friends are in the oil and gas industry. But for me, I believed my path was out with that industry. Within my first year at Cummins, it was quite clear to me that I wanted to go into a more commercial role. So I decided to start a course at the University of Warwick, which was engineering business management. I knew I didn't want to totally leave engineering, but also I wanted to do the commercial aspect of things. And then I started the conversations with mentors and with buddies to talk about, okay, what is my next step? What can I do next? I've realized quite early on, and a lot of people really encouraged me, instead of saying, stick it out for a few years and see how you feel, because that's usually the advice that some people will give, which I feel is a bit of a cop out. So if you feel like your passion is within commercial and you want to be involved in sales, then today is a great day for you to start. From Cummins, I moved on in December 2019. I moved on to Clearview Imaging. So Clearview Imaging actually sells cameras to various types of customers. And actually, what really excited me about Clearview Imaging was the fact that they had a lot of technology in terms of add-ons. So the camera can then do other things. So the fact that they sold cameras is not really all they did, and that was quite exciting because some of the products that they sold also came with software. For example, detecting on a production line if the bottle cap on a bottle was passed the inspection test or failed the test. So you could either see that, okay, if the dimension of the cover of the bottle was higher than what was expected, then it's a fail. So there would be a sort of switch that would basically move the bottle, or it would shoot the part that was wrong out of the production line to make sure that there wasn't any issues when it comes to distributing the product. So with Clearview, what was very exciting was the fact that I was employed as a sales engineer. So for me, that was a sort of the right job to do, because coming from a job title where I was a performance development engineer, I didn't want to kind of lose the whole engineering aspect of things. So I wanted to trial a role where I could kind of say, okay, I was a sales engineer, there's still that engineering there, and hopefully if I don't enjoy the job, I can move back into engineering. So I kind of took that less risk path, which a lot of people do, and I would advise definitely to do something like that if you have the opportunity to kind of be one leg in, one leg out, so you can kind of step back if you don't really enjoy it. It's really handy to do that, so you can say, okay, within 6 months or 12 months you can leave the role and you can say, okay, bye, this is not for me. And that's what can happen in some situations. I essentially worked at Clearview for 7 months, and due to COVID, we had some sales downturn, and I had to go basically. But I think luckily for me, within the week of I think my last week, I found out that one of my customers, called Street Drone, you can probably see their cars in the background here. They brought up a role to be a business development manager in the company. So I went on from being a sales engineer who was getting training with one of the best sales courses, called Sandler Training. I was then brought in to lead the sales process in Street Drone. With Street Drone, I actually had 2 interviews. It was a tough process. I was asked a lot of questions, and it was actually very good for me because at that point was the best time for me to essentially practice what I've learned, and I learned a lot at Clearview. So it was a no-brainer for me to step into this role and to definitely hold it, grab it by its horns and get going essentially. I would say Mark is almost famous now because his team, he's actually a team principal for Techeetah, the winners, the champions of Formula E. So the most recent race, they're having fun, but at the same time they are, dealing with environmental factors, which is definitely something that guarantees longevity. And I can see that overtaking Formula One within the next few years. So I do phone calls, and I do meetings. So I'm always in meetings. Most of maybe half of my time during the week. If I work 40 hours a week, let's say 20 hours is about being in a meeting, planning a meeting, or thinking about a meeting, or getting prepared for a meeting, or then evaluating how the meeting went and what are the next steps. So I would say that's what's really important about my job as a business developer. So my task is to grow the business, to also get more clients and partnerships within the business as well. So what does Street Drone do? Street Drone is a company who are trying to bring autonomy to the world in a safer and less expensive way. So what we have is people like Waymo and Tesla who are within the autonomous industry, and they are achieving great things for sure. However, before it gets to a point where people can actually benefit from it, it's going to take a long time. So what's actually happening is Street Drone is a startup from Oxford, and we are trying to bring autonomy to the world. We actually don't believe that we are anywhere near the perfect solution for autonomous driving, and we do not see ourselves as car makers who will bring autonomy to the highway. We're not planning on doing that. We're not trying to go 70 miles per hour whilst someone can be drinking alcohol. It's not a thing. It's not going to happen, not today. What's actually going to happen within a foreseeable future is we will have cars, autonomous vehicles, which can do certain tasks. A robot car that would help you deliver your food. Imagine a robot car that would help you take your shopping from Tesco and then brings it to your house. So that's the type of stuff that we are interested in. We're not interested in extremely fast drives. We think that slow moving autonomy is more achievable because you have a lot more time to react, and the technology that we have right now is capable of doing that. So people keep trying to solve the problem of research when you can just follow the money and essentially create something that will be beneficial to the environment, that will be beneficial to the people, and will take us ahead of where we already are. So my first 100 days as a business development manager. So coming from engineering, how did I do it? The summary is I was an engineer. I had good experience with a good company. I had really good training from one of the best sales companies in the world called Sandler Training. Obviously, a lot of my friends and people that I've worked with have said that I'm very good at talking and relationship building. So those are the key recipes for sales. However, sales is not for the faint-hearted. Sales is for people that can control their emotions, people that can control their mindset. You do not want to be easily disappointed because you will face rejections, you will face failures, but the whole point of sales is you can get over that and continue to do your work and follow the process. If you follow the process, the results will come. Don't get lazy. Make sure you're always prospecting. Make sure you're always following what you say you will do. When you have a meeting, do what you say you will do. If you don't, you will lose the customer and you will waste your time. So, happy weekend, guys. Happy Friday. It's an amazing time actually to be alive, because guess what? Donald Trump is probably not going to be the American president. And hopefully all of you that want to go to America can go to America, and it will be a safer America. That's what I think. So a safer America, a happy America, a unified America. Hopefully that's what we get with Joe Biden. So cheers to that. And I know this is a really long video, but forgive me, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend.